everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Think Realty podcast today. Whether you're viewing or listening, we're so excited that you are choosing to join us. As the founder and CEO of Think Realty, it's my privilege to come on here and host some of these podcasts. I know that I share duties with Abhi Golhar that you've seen on here for years. But this year I wanted to get more intentional about getting involved with our listener, with our viewer, with our Think Realty members. And so this is my effort to do that. And in this, I'll always bring on great guests that will bring value to you in your real estate investing journey. But before I get into the guest, I want to say a quick thank you to our podcast sponsor, which is Real Property Management, RPM. Working with the right property management company can put more money in your pocket, not less. Real Property Management provides a higher standard of property management to make sure you're maximizing the return on your investments. Experience the real difference with Real Property Management. Visit realpropertymgt.com. I can tell you unequivocally that my properties, the ones that are cash flowing the best, have the best property managers, and I would encourage you to get a hold of them. Our guest today is from the Bridge Loan Network, and her name is Pamela Blakes. Pamela, if you don't mind, thank you so much, first of all, for joining us. I appreciate it. And if you don't mind, just give a brief overview of what the Bridge Loan Network does.
Okay, so we are a cloud-based software for the real estate, non-owner-occupied properties. We work with brokers and lenders in the industry. So we've been around since, I believe, 2013, and we had more of a lender portal side, and then we brought in the broker side. So we have where we work with lenders, we work with brokers that are also independent, can have certain subscriptions, and they're able to use the software with other lenders and with their clients too, which makes it look nice and professional for them.
That's great. And so what do you do at the Bridge Loan Network? What is the position that you hold?
I'm a broker account manager, so I work with the brokers in the software trainings and upkeep, helping making sure everyone understands technology and how it works. I just kind of help keep things flowing on the broker side.
Oh, very good. That's awesome. With Think Realty, I also lead the American Association of Private Lenders, and I know that we've seen the Bridge Loan Network at a ton of our shows, always supporting and helping out real estate investors as well as lenders. Talk to me a little bit about the innovation in just technology in this space. I mean, a group like the Bridge Loan Network, really was not maybe necessarily needed 20, 30 years ago. But now that the industry has just grown and it's burgeoning and there's such a demand for this private capital, tell me, how important is it for technology and technology advancements in this place?
So, I came from the traditional side back in like 01, long time ago. And on the traditional side, the software was always, I say always there. It was always there in a way. But the private money side, they definitely had where everybody did their own thing. So when software came in, it was more to keep everything organized, get everybody on the same track. Starting to get those integrations in, which really helps keep the flow so that, things are going through and closing better, more communication, those type of things.
Yeah, that's great. Talk to me a little bit about the process that Bridge Loan Network goes through. If you don't mind, just kind of like walk me through what that looks like, what parts Bridge Loan plays inside of the space, so that the real estate investor or lender listening to the podcast understands how these components work.
Okay, so with the software itself, because I work with brokers, I'm used to talking about the broker side. The brokers are able to have portals for their clients to go into, where obviously it gets that communication going, kind of like a seamless process for that intake. So the broker's using it to get the application in, have those documents uploaded, being able to keep everything organized instead of having the Excel spreadsheets and having to update those, instead of having the emails and trying to keep things in different folders on your on your computer. we have where you can also work with lenders directly in the software. So for that, the broker is actually being able to see their white labeling, their portal, but the lender can also see that loan, which is obviously very handy, because then as soon as the status gets updated, that broker can see it. And also that client can see it if they log into their client portal. Does that answer your question?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And because we have kind of both on our platform, we have both investors, lenders,
Yep.
real estate buyers. Let me just break it down just a little bit, and then we'll see if you want to add anything to it. Absolutely, you absolutely can. So for the real estate investor out there that's thinking about buying a property, oftentimes in your mind you think, well, I got to get directly to the funding source. And so you go directly to the lender. And what you miss oftentimes is that brokers, like she's talking about, have a back end of a ton of real estate investors or lenders that are willing to take the loan specific to the loan modality or case. So if you know it's maybe one that's specific to state or specific to type or style, a broker oftentimes is going to have this whole bullpen of lenders that are behind them. And the bridge loan network is this seamless interaction from broker to all these lenders that allow them to seamlessly write your loans to make sure that you're getting the best opportunity for whatever your real estate investment property need is. And so I just want to make that full circle so that the real estate investor here that's thinking about just borrowing understands how the bridge loan network is making efficient this space from either broker or lender to either a secondary market source or groups like RCN or others that maybe you work with to make sure that they're sourcing the right capital and the best capital for the real estate investor.
Absolutely, 100%. And I always say, so I came from I actually used to work for a brokerage, so I've been there originating loans, and then I've also worked for lenders being a loan officer. I specialized in investment property loans, so I love my investors. Investors are awesome. It's a business for them. It's not just, oh, primary residence, let's do this. It's such a business that everybody being able to have access to something that can organize their business is so important. And you have your investors that will go directly to a lender. Maybe they know a little bit more about their niche and what they're looking for, and they have that ability. But you also have those investors that a broker is amazing, because a broker could know, all right, I can do your types of loans in, just like you said, certain states. Maybe they know mom and pop shops that will help and lend. So it's so important for that investor to kind of understand where the broker comes in and the lender comes in, and understanding the roles in the loan. And the software definitely helps out with that. I mean, our software, and I always tell brokers this and lenders, software is software. You're going to find which one works the best for you and your company. It's all about your business, their business, everybody working together and being able to trust that, you have each other's interests in heart. So in our software, we have a way where I don't even know, I could say whatever, private lender link. So we're integrated with private lender link, which Rocky over there is amazing. Love him. And it's really great to be able to take our broker and say, hey, we can help you also find great lenders to help out with your clients. And again, that investor being able to go in and see the status of their loan, you always panic as an investor and say, oh, what's going on? No one's talking to me. Being able to go into a software and see the status of your loan, knowing that those documents were actually uploaded. To be honest, I think that's such a great thing for the investors themselves. And I mean, technology has just brought things for a full circle on the private money side. Just like you guys, you have this amazing site where I wish back when I was, doing these loans, I was able to send my investors somewhere where they could get some education. And it wasn't just me teaching them. They can actually go in and, on their downtime and learn a lot from the people that you're having on. So it's really neat. I love that.
Yeah, thank you. And so, full circle, we talked about the real estate investor, the flipper, the rehabber, the buy and hold guy. But now a lot of our real estate investors have become more savvy. They've ascended kind of through the chain, where maybe 10 years ago they were buying properties, rehabbing properties. Maybe they've got a big rental portfolio, and now a lot of them have disposable income or discretionary disposable income that they're now lending. They're finding themselves at the lending table more than they are at the purchasing table. And so obviously your software could potentially work for them as well to streamline that process. Because in the lending space, and this is where a lot of the Think Realty viewers are, is they're in this space of they're still buying real estate deals, right, but the real estate deals are getting harder and harder to come by, and so they're lending to those that are finding the good deals now to keep their money working. But they're not necessarily becoming efficient in that lending process, and that's where I think for these, higher level or maybe, further down the road levels of real estate investing, where the bridge loan network could play a huge part for them in creating efficiency and maximizing what they're lending. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, 100%. One thing when I first saw our software, obviously working for lenders and whatnot, and on the traditional side, I've worked in a lot of different software over the years. Coming in, the software like ours is really great because it really lays things out for, just like you're saying, maybe someone who's just starting to lend. It kind of brings you through that process and makes things a lot more simpler, where before it was, I'm not really sure exactly what I need, where now it's, you can go in and actually say, okay, this is where a loan starts. This is what I need to do for that beginning part. So it really helps them just flow through. Even when it comes to appraisals and titles and things like that, they're going to definitely be able to process through that a lot quicker and a lot smoother.
Yeah, and then by
and it all being one place.
Absolutely, and then by streamlining it, they could potentially work that money faster, more efficiently. Yep. Their borrowers are going to love it because now they can speak to them more effectively. Yes. You're not the person that's asking for the same document 30 times as opposed to just the one time where it gets uploaded, which is the complaint I hear all the time. Why do I get asked for the same document over and over again? Because you don't have a portal or a software to load it into, right? And we really solve a lot of those problems.
Yes. It's funny. I'm from New York, so I have a very direct way of saying things sometimes. And when I'm speaking to brokers, I'm like, you got to train your investors, your clients to go in and, I's dotted, T's crossed. Those things help so much in the process. Mm-hmm. Being able to trust who you're working with, knowing that they're going to do their part. One of my first investors when I got into the industry, Mr. Martinez, love him. I really learned a lot from him. And I learned that when you're taking care of your investor as a broker, it would be the same thing as a lender. When you're taking care of them and you're really giving them those tools and being very clear on what's needed, when they're doing that part. So as an investor, all the investors out there, if something's asked from you, try to do it with I's dotted, T's crossed, because it will just make things flow better. And then as the broker, when you're setting your clients up for success, they're going to come back and they're always going to work with you. And they're going to trust that even though you're not calling them every day, they know that things are actually getting done. So yeah, that organization is a huge thing. And if, obviously if that broker is using software, being able to log in and say, oh, there's the status. Okay, I know. Hey, maybe I'll call my broker and let them know loan's clear to close.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very good. How can they find out more about the Bridge Loan Network? Do you have a website or something that you would push them to for them to get more information?
Yep. blnsoftware.com. And yep, you can just send in a demo request. We get on with brokers and lenders. Jacob is... he heads the lender side, and then there's actually 4 of us now over on the broker side. I started here 2 years ago. It was just me starting off trying to figure out what to do for the brokers and help them. And now we have 4 of us. So, just reaching out to BLN software.
BLN software. I know also they can go to bridgeloannetwork.com as well for more information on the organization. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Thank you for the value that you brought. And hopefully some of our real estate investors will join hands with you to make a better, more efficient process for the real estate investors out there.
Thank you. And thank you for all that you guys do, because it really is great. Your site's awesome to really learn and get that knowledge.
Thank you so much. Appreciate what you guys do for the industry. Have a great day.
You too.
If you are not already signed up for our Think Realty Expo in Tampa, we have a Think Realty Expo in Tampa coming up on July 21st and 22nd. Set your sights on making the rest of 2022 and 2023 a success with more knowledge and know-how by learning and networking with top-tier real estate investors. If you haven't signed up yet, as a special offer today on the podcast, we're going to offer a buy one, get one free deal on tickets for this show. What you do is you go onto thinkrealty.com/Tampa, or go to thinkrealty.com and look up the events header and click on Tampa and sign up for 2 tickets. When you sign up for 2 tickets and you go to the checkout, if you'll put in the keyword or the code podcast, PODCAST, then it will discount one of those tickets to free, and you'll get your buy one, get one free ticket. We'd love to see you in Tampa. If you're in the Florida area, you don't want to miss this. However, if you're anywhere else in the nation, you don't want to miss it either, because Florida is the hottest state in the union. Florida and Texas right now are neck and neck, but Florida is edging Texas out in dollars being invested in real estate, and the market is hot there. So we're going to bring in some fantastic speakers and guests that day to make sure that your experience and education that day are second to none. Thank you so much for joining us today as a part of our thank yous. I want to give a quick thank you to our episode sponsor, which is Real Property Management. Working with the right property management company can put more money in your pocket, not less. Real Property Management provides a higher standard of property management to make sure you're maximizing the return on your investment. Experience the difference that they can make in your property and your return on investments by going to realpropertymgt.com. That's realpropertymgt.com. Successful real estate investors always understand who their property manager is. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Think Realty podcast. It's been my privilege to host it and interview Pamela. I hope that it brought value to you in your investing journey. If you're not already following us on social, you can follow me at Eddie Wilson Official on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, all the socials, but also you can follow Think Realty and get continued information on our events, on education. You can hear from our resident experts and just continue the journey with us. We built this for you so that you can have a companion along on your investment journey. And so I hope you go to thinkrealty.com and be a part of our space. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that it brought value to you. Respond. Let us know what you need, what you want, what you're looking for, and we'll do our best to serve you as a real estate community. Have a great day and continue investing.